And I also see that our next speaker is already connected online. Hello, Stephanie.
Yes, lovely meeting you.
Okay, so let me introduce your presentation to the audience. We'll have a presentation by Stephanie Crispin from Reflaunt on new fashion business models. And I understand you have your own presentation that you will be sharing.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, and please, the floor is yours.
Great. Perfect. Great. Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Reflaunt. Reflaunt is a fashion tech company that powers brands and retailers, specifically luxury ones, with a resale service to allow their own customers, individual customers, to put back on sale their past purchases. So today I'll be sharing a bit more about how it works and how we're able basically to power these brands with a resale service. So Reflaunt, the specificity around Reflaunt is that we've really built our whole technology to cater to high-end luxury brands and retailers. Some are examples of the brands and retailers we work with. So it's Balenciaga, Net-a-Porter, so a mix between brands and retailers. And over the past 7 years, we've build out a technology that embraces the specificities of luxury, right? Which has high standards when it comes to service, execution. So we're very far from a vintage execution, which is fantastic for, I would say, lower end products and which is more on a peer-to-peer model. We have built out a service that is much more managed and high touch. Now, what are kind of the key building blocks of our service? And I'll explain to you concretely how it works. There are 4 big points that differentiate our service. One is that we have built a branded resale and clienteling that is managed. So we basically build out a whole journey that is for VIP clients to ensure a high-end luxury experience. We also have built out a global operational infrastructure. So we have warehouses across US, UK, Europe, Middle East, and Asia. Our distribution of the items that we collect, secondhand items from individual customers, is basically items that are resold on a network of marketplaces. So we're integrated with Vestiaire, with Poshmark, with Huey, with even retailers like Yoox, and we sell the products through a very large distribution network. And finally, our main KPI or value that we bring to brands and retailers is loyalty. Now, you're going to understand very quickly and easily kind of the whole operational flow and how this experience works with this graph. So we integrate directly in the brand.com's website. So we exist within the e-commerce of the brand. And once a customer wants to resell an item, they simply go back to their account with the brand and have all their historical purchases there. They can then click resell from their account. We are then collecting their items so they can choose 3 to as many products that they wish to sell. We then collect the items. They are shipped to our nearest operational hub where they are sorted, authenticated, and then digitalized. And then once the product is digitalized, the item is then sold across not one marketplace or the brand.com's e-commerce, but across a multiple number of channels to maximize visibility, sell-through of the products. Now, once the secondhand shopper comes along and purchases the item from one of these channels, which can be Yoox, eBay, Saks Off Fifth, so we have many different channels, the initial customer that is selling receives a choice to be paid either in cash or shopping credits to buy again with the brand. So ultimately what this is powering or using resell as a loyalty tool to retain customers and to bring them back to the brand.com website. So we've crafted the most effortless experience for best customers of the brands. And the reason for which I was saying it contrasts with Vinted is that for Vinted, you do everything yourself, right? You take the pictures, you upload it, and then once it sells, you go with your brown box to the closest carrier. With Reflaunt, it's very different experience. You basically have very little information to upload. You then get a home pickup, or you can drop off in store. And then from there, we manage everything for you. So we take the pictures, we price the product, and so on. It's dedicated, or it's very relevant for luxury items, not so much for low-end pieces, because there is a cost to all this operational service that we bring to customers. The resale experience also is different from a marketplace because everything happens within the brand.com's e-commerce. So here you have a few screenshots of what it looks like for some of our clients, where you have, for Balenciaga, for example, the past purchases that customer has purchased, and a resell button below it. So they can click resell and everything then unfolds. We accept any luxury item, and then we offer either direct buyback, so the customer can receive instant reward, or can be paid with a higher amount only once the product is sold. And then finally, customers can drop off their item in store, or they can have a home pickup. I'm just going to pass through a bit some of the slides. In terms of operational service, we're across the globe. So we have partners or the warehouses of brands and retailers that manage that. And the whole flow of basically the operations is quite intense. As you can see here, there's 10 steps to it, with the involvement of photo shooting, of expert authentication, and pricing. Now, this is a key differentiating point as well with our service, is that we can resell the products on the brand.com's e-commerce. So the brand decides to resell their own items. But what we've observed is that brands are not always equipped to resell secondhand items and have the ability to resell quickly. What's happening? To resell quickly their items. So we've built out a network of marketplaces basically across the globe to facilitate basically the sale of these products that we collect. And we tap into, it's going back and forth, I'm sorry for that. We tap into an audience of 350 million shoppers across all these marketplaces. And then finally, key important KPI is that we increased by 3.5 times the annual spend per customer once we deploy the service to a brand or retailer, and we increased by 7 times the customer purchase frequency. So these KPIs speak for themselves in terms of how we use resale as a loyalty and growth tool for brands and retailers. We're not only a sustainability tool to kind of prolong the life cycle and the life of products, but also to make their customers more loyal and more sticky to the brand. Voilà. These are finally a few KPIs that we're pretty proud of. Again, that puts the accent on how profitable resale can be for brands and for retailers. What we observe is that 2 out of 3 buyers are new customers, because through resale, through secondhand offering, they can attract a new clientele, new customers that are much more conscious and sensitive to sustainability and to environmental kind of topics. 1 in 5 sellers as well, so people that are reselling are new customers, because brands are able to attract basically customers that purchased maybe through Farfetch and through Net-a-Porter, and through a service like this gain them back. And we've increased by 3.2 times the spend of customers by increasing their purchasing power, by monetizing their past purchases that are sitting idle in their wardrobes, and basically converting the resale of their products into shopping credits. And then finally, the main KPI that's really exciting for these brands is that we're increasing by 350% the customer lifetime value within a year of these customers that start selling. Voilà, that's it for me. I hope I was brief enough, and I was able to fit into the dedicated time. So I'm reading a
Thank you very
question.
much.
Yes.
I hope you can hear you could hear the applause from the audience. And also,
Yes,
I think
thank
we
you.
have a question in the chat.
Yes.
I will read it to you. So I missed the initial part. Is this model focusing only on post-consumption items or also pre-consumption?
So we are really focused on everything that touches upon resale, recycling, and repair, so giving a second life to products. However, what I can say is that resale is becoming more and more present upstream, so at the moment of consideration of purchase. What I mean by that is that what we've observed is that once customers start reselling, they also change behaviors in terms of purchasing first-hand products, because they realize that by buying better quality items that can endure the test of time, they are actually making a better financial choice because they can resell those products in the future. So now we're working with brands and retailers to bring the messaging and bring the visibility of our service way more upstream, so that at the moment of purchase, customers know which items have a better value in the second-hand market.
Thank you very much. Let me see if there are other questions. Yes, there is one question here in the room, so we'll get the microphone.
Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for your presentation. My name is Mariana, and since you are dealing with luxury items, I was wondering if you had any challenges with authentication and how you are dealing with it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a big, big central piece for us. And that is also why our model is not peer-to-peer. It's really a managed resale where we collect items, and all items transact or pass through our warehouses. So we have strict guidelines for our warehouses in terms of picture taking and sorting, and all items will then go through a screening with experts to authenticate each item. That's the first piece. The second is that now we're working on creating or tagging each of the items that pass through our warehouse with physical identifiers, and those technologies varies between RFIDs or QR codes and chips that are embedded in the product, so that items can then be recognized once they are sent to the buyer, and that if there's a return, for instance, they can't be switched with a fake product. So there's a bunch of initiatives that we have around that topic, because of course it's quite a sensitive element to our whole business.